Tonight, a big crowd came out to support a great cause and listen to some good music. Summer Jam is the second concert in the four-part Chords for Kids series that benefits Any Baby Can. They're announced a nonprofit that provides everything from parenting classes to therapy and family support services. The group helps more than 6,000 children and families every year.
This is
KUT.
KUT, Austin.
Stop.
It's summertime. That means many children are headed to summer camp this morning. It's not uncommon to find camps geared toward special interests. Think soccer camp and space camp. Roller coaster and shark camp are also a thing, believe it or not. In Killeen this week, a group of roughly 50 kids, aged 7 to 14, are attending a camp geared toward a special life experience. KUT's Ashley Lopez has the story.
Joshua Caro and his sister Gina are sitting on a curb waiting for a bus in central Austin. Joshua is 9, Gina's 12. And actually, they'd want me to mention those aren't their full names.
I have 4 names, actually.
You have 4 names? What are all your names?
Joshua Israel Rangel Caro.
I have 3. Gina Annalise Caro.
The entire time I'm chatting with these two, Gina has a protective arm draped around her younger brother. Joshua is going away to camp for the first time, and he's a little nervous. I asked him if he's excited.
I don't know.
No? You're kind of scared, you don't know.
Yeah.
Joshua is going to a summer camp hosted by Any Baby Can, a nonprofit that focuses on issues related to childhood development. It's called Camp Grey Dove, and it's for children in Joshua's specific situation. By that I mean his sister Gina was diagnosed with cancer.
Yes, I have cancer, leukemia.
Gina and Joshua's mom, Brenda Basaldua, tells me Gina's cancer is in remission right now, but their family has gone through some really tough times recently. She says watching Gina suffer has been hard on everyone.
It is really, really hard, mainly for kids. I mean, we as for adults is difficult. Is way more difficult for the kids. Not only for Gina that was the one suffering, but for Joshua as well, to see that suffering and not being able to do anything about it.
Basaldua says some days it was clearer than others that Joshua was having a hard time understanding what was happening to Gina.
Joshua, some days he would just space out completely, as I don't understand what's going on, and I hate this.
Basaldua says she's excited Joshua will get to meet other kids whose siblings also have cancer. She says she thinks it could help him. Ethan Jones is a camp counselor, but he's been going to Camp Grey Dove for years. Jones started going when he was 7 years old. His twin brother had leukemia at a young age. He says the camp was really helpful during that part of his life.
It was cool knowing that there are other kids like me, really. I mean, other kids who went through some of the same stuff, because it was just really easier to bond with them, because we could talk about it.
Jones says that wasn't the case in other parts of his life, like school.
A lot of people don't really share the same experience, with cancer and having it with a sibling, somebody so close. So this camp was really just a great place for me to meet other people and create bonds with people.
This camp is also a way for the kids to get a lot of undivided attention. Jones says attention was hard to come by when his twin brother was sick.
Growing up, he did get a lot of the attention, and I was kind of cast aside. And I had older brothers and sisters too, so we were kind of pushed off. And it makes sense because, he needed it. But while we're here, I just try to give them that attention while they're here. That's why I try to interact with every camper I can.
And they're getting professional attention too. Allison Bautista with Any Baby Can says group therapy is a big part of the daily activities.
So all of the kids are kind of divided based on their age and whether their sibling is on or off treatment or bereaved. So they're in groups with their peers and they can work through kind of processing their feelings and their experiences.
But in the end, this is still a summer camp. Bautista says the bulk of the time will be spent having fun.
So we have things like scuba diving, ropes courses, zip lines. There's a petting zoo with a llama and miniature horses. It's a ton of stuff. They even have a giant slip and slide.
And camp counselor Ethan Jones says making sure they have a good time is his #1 priority.
What I try to hammer into the kids is that just have fun this week, because I know it's tough. I always say, this camp is a great break from reality. So you can have that time just to be a kid.
And with that, a big bus pulls up and drives the campers away to Killeen for their short break from reality. Ashley Lopez, KUT News.
Impacted the lives of so many and changes plans out of nowhere for all types of parents.
One Austin organization is trying to support these families, focusing on something else that sometimes goes unnoticed. Jay Wallace joins us now here to tell us about that story. Jay?
Yeah, Any Baby Can is a nonprofit that supports parents and their children, trying to help them through difficult situations and diseases. And for 1 week, this Camp Grey Dove is focusing on siblings and hoping to give them a distraction they deserve. It's time for these parents to say goodbye, to let the kids go to camp for a week.
The three amigos.
It really just gives them a chance to kind of work through their experiences.
This camp isn't like the rest. Every kid you see has a sibling who is fighting or has fought cancer. Penny Yanez' 3 youngest kids are coping with a diagnosis in their family.
My oldest, he's in remission with acute promoscytic leukemia. The toughest part is dealing when he's in the hospital, trying to give the other children the attention that they need and trying to take care of them.
But for this week, her 3 kids say goodbye.
Hey, I love you.
And head off to Killeen for camp. You've probably seen most of the activities here.
I love the rock wall.
The zip line and swing.
The pool.
But likely not heard the conversations.
It gives you a lot of time to just forget, and it gives you a week away from life and responsibilities.
Just take 5th grader Jose Guzman, who lost his sister, 11 at the time, to leukemia.
You don't get them back. It's like if your world just turned around.
Or Aiden Taylor, Penny's youngest son, who still thinks about what his brother is having to go through.
He had to get these shots some days.
But for Aiden and his friends, this is not only a time to forget, but also connect.
I came here and everyone's going through the same thing, and it felt like I could just talk about how I actually felt.
No matter whether the word cancer is even brought up.
They don't talk to me about a lot of it, but I can see them get so much closer and experience something.
Eventually, these kids take the bus back to where the week began, returning reinvigorated and hopeful. And that's because this camp lets kids be kids, helping them keep up the fight, no matter the finish line.
I feel like I'm on an island and I'm all alone, and when I come here, it's like I'm finally getting to civilization.
And while this camp sees many of the kids come to the camp for years, Camp Grey Dove also has a CIT program, counselors in training. So then they can have the chance to help the next group of kids the way their counselors did for them. So really a special camp, and it's great to see the kids not necessarily, talk about cancer with the other kids, but it's just kind of, it goes unsaid.
Yeah.
You're able to connect with them in a special way they might not get at a normal camp, right?
Yeah, like an unspoken bond, kind of.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, I did notice that they were braiding the horse's hair. It was very sweet. The horse that had so many braids, it was awesome.
That's a fun time for those kids,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Jay.
Sure.
It is time now to get a check of our hot.
Just very energetic, very positive. I speak nothing but positivity in him. He's never seen me struggle.
But before Alicia Guerrero's son was born, she did struggle. At 18 years old, she was pregnant, alone, and scared.
They're gonna grow, and I have to feed them, and I have to be there and support, and go through the initial birth itself. I was terrified.
Everything changed when Alicia found Any Baby Can. The group offered guidance about parenting and referrals for healthcare and job training. Alicia is now putting herself through school, and her son happy and healthy.
I've definitely grown so much, and I've did a really awesome job. So, yeah, I definitely have made a change completely from the life I had before, and I'm just grateful that God put her there.
The Nurse Family Partnership Program is about to reach more women. Any Baby Can landed an $80,000 grant from Impact Austin.
And it's a wonderful prevention program that helps reduce abuse and neglect in our community, as well as helps families get on the right track and break that cycle of poverty.
We know that all of these organizations are going to make the lives of youth and families in Central Texas better.
And Alicia will tell you,
I just look at him and it just makes everything just so much better.
They already have. In downtown Austin, Rena Diamante, Spectrum News.